G'day guys, how are we going? Well, four-wheel drive mods. This is my top 10 selection if you're just starting out, so let's check them out. Okay, so you just bought yourself your first four-wheel drive and you want to start getting out and exploring the Aussie bush. Now, you're just wondering what sort of list of mods should you consider first when you want to deck out your rig to get you out and about in the bush. Well, firstly, I'd be probably starting at a good set of aftermarket tyres, either a full mud tyre like these, or the aggressive all-terrain, or even just an all-terrain. But either of those three options is a good upgrade, probably from the standard tyres when you buy the vehicle from new. And the other thing I did with these, because my Patrol came out with 17-inch rims on them. Now I went back to a 16-inch rim. Now this was the as smallest I could go because of the size of my brake calipers, so to give them plenty of clearance in there. But the reason why I went back to a smaller size rim is because it gave me a lot bigger sidewall. So when you let your tyre pressures down when you're out there in the bush, you've still got a plenty good sized sidewall there, which keeps your rim well and truly up off the ground. So that's certainly one option that I did there. And then with the second option, well, then I'd be starting with a suspension upgrade, because you know your standard suspension's pretty much not going to cut it if you want to get out and Fennick and have a good look around, either around Australia or through the high country, wherever you want to go. But the good set of aftermarket suspension is certainly the way to go, because that's what's going to give you your travel and flex and keep these guys on the ground so they can do the job that they're designed to do. Because at the end of the day, if you haven't got a good set of suspension on your full drive and you've got tyres that are constantly off the ground and that sort of thing, and they're only in the air spinning around, well, it doesn't matter how good your tyres are, these aren't going to do the job they're designed to do. So get yourself a good set of aftermarket suspension, keep your tyres on the ground, and that'll give you a fair chance of getting up the track to where you need to go. So, and also the other thing too with an aftermarket suspension when it comes back to tyres, because you know we generally like to go a little bit bigger in tyre diameter from standard, well, you're going to need a bit of a suspension lift to give you the room in your wheel arch here to get that bigger tyre in there. So there you go guys, there's the first two. Tyres are number one, suspension number two. Let's get into the next one. Okay, so with my third option, this is number three, it's certainly recovery points. Now you want rated recovery points on the rear and certainly on the front of your full drive, just in case, you know, you get stuck or you got to recover your mate. Well, rated recovery points and recovery gear as well, just some basic recovery gear, but look, that's another topic. But number three is certainly recovery points. Okay, so number four is certainly one of these, a Snorkel. Now, if you want to have a good look through the Victorian High Country from one side to the other and all in amongst there, you're going to do a few crossings to a stack of water crossings. So these are an absolute must, and I reckon no Snorkel, well, no high country if you want to have a good look through it. Because there's my air intake up here, so I've got no chance of you know, sucking water through when I'm driving through the rivers. So that's my air intake way up there. Not that I'm going to be driving through river crossings certainly that deep, but without a Snorkel, you know, your air intake's generally down fairly low. And if it's down through there where it just comes through your air box, depending on what side you're on, you've got a fair chance of getting water up through there, splashing off your tyres and up through your air intake, inside your motor and destroy it. So there's option number four. A Snorkel is an absolute must. Okay, so the next one, number five, is certainly one of these, UHF Radio. These are absolutely vital, you know, if you're out there travelling with your mates in a convoy, that you got good clear communications between the whole convoy and everyone can chat to each other, so everyone knows what's going on, you know, if you've got another group coming towards you ever. So absolutely got to get yourself one of these. UHF Radio, that's number five. Okay, so number six is one of these, a Bullbar. And these play a pretty important role for protecting the front of your full drive if you get any animal strikes, which unfortunately does happen sometimes, and certainly any collisions you might have with other vehicles. Well, it's these things, they're going to protect the front of your vehicle from getting damaged in those sort of situations. But the other important thing too with having a Bullbar, it carries all our accessories, because if you haven't got one of these on, where you can't carry driving lights, winches, and got nowhere to mount your UHF radio, the aerial there, so these things are very important for a number of reasons. So there's number six, a Bullbar. Okay, so number seven is certainly going to be a roof rack. Now, the roof rack is a very handy item, covers all your bigger items that you can't necessarily get inside your full drive. You've got a stack of tie down points here, so you can tie everything down nice and securely. This is an aluminium roof rack, so it's nice and light. But the other thing, a bit like your Bullbar, thing with the roof rack, it also carries, you know, your accessories for your shovel holder and your high lift jack, and then on the other side there you've got somewhere to, you know, to hang your awning, those sort of things. So again, without a roof rack, you've got nowhere to carry those couple of other accessories. So there you go, guys. Number 7, roof rack. Let's check out the next one. Okay, so number 8, good set of driving lights. Now, generally when we head away on a trip, you know, you're leaving home in those early hours of the morning, and 9 times out of 10 it's still pretty dark. So good set of driving lights to get you through those mountain ranges and out to your camping location nice and safely. And you'll certainly see, you know, any animals and those sort of things that may be on the road up in front of you. And also, well, some people, they like to go night driving at night time and, you know, doing the full drive tracks of a night. So a good set of driving lights in those sort of situations is certainly an absolute must. So there you go, guys. That's number 8. Let's go on to the next one. Okay, so where are we up to? Number 9 now, and that's certainly a winch. Now, the thing with a winch, look, you may not ever use it, but they are such a really handy piece of insurance to have on the front of your full drive when you're going out in the bush. If it's just that one time where it just might save your life or your mate's life or someone else that you're traveling with, or, you know, you might come up against a situation, well, a winch is fair income, a really handy piece of insurance to have on the front of your full drive. So there you go, guys. Number 9, I'd be looking at a winch. Okay, so the last one, number 10, certainly good set of rock sliders or some sort of protection under there, which is going to protect the undercarriage there of your sills. Because if you've only got, you know, your standard aluminium steps on your full drive or that sort of thing, well, they are going to cop an absolute hiding with, you know, going over rocks and logs and those sort of things. Whereas these, and this is fair income, this has taken absolute punishment over the years that I've had those rock sliders on there, and it's certainly saved the under the sills under there, underneath my patrol there. So there you go, guys. There's number 10, set of rock sliders. That's my top 10 suggestions for aftermarket mods if you're just getting started out in the full driving and wondering what to put on your full drive to get you out in the Aussie bush. Now, I reckon you've probably got a few extra things you might want to add to the list. Chuck them in the comments down below, and that way everyone can learn from everyone else's suggestions. So there you go, guys. I got to get out of here, and fair chance I'll see you out in the bush someday.